Hello, my name is Laura Richards and I work for Macmillan as a Welfare Benefits Advisor. This video is to explain benefits that you might be able to apply for if you're state pension age. Currently, state pension age is 66. Benefits can be means tested or non-means tested. If you are state pension age, then the first thing you're expected to apply for is your state pension. If you do not meet the criteria for a full state pension, you might be entitled to apply for a benefit called pension credit, which has been in the news quite a bit recently. There are different elements that can be applied to this benefit, so it depends on your circumstances as to what you might be entitled to. If you're part of a couple, you both have to make a claim. It has to be a joint claim. And applications can be made online by putting into Google pension credit apply for, so long as you use the government website, because that will take you directly to the information you need. Or you can make a phone call. You can call 0800 99 1234 and press the button that says apply for pension credit. All income you have will be taken into account. So if you are also receiving any personal pensions or occupational pensions, or you have any other income from any other source, either yourself or your spouse or partner, then that will be taken into account with the calculation. If you are also still working, as many people do still work past state pension age, that will also be included in the calculation. Certain benefits can also be included within the calculation too. If you have savings, anything up to £10,000 is disregarded. If you have savings that exceed £10,000, then £1 for every £500 or part of £500 you have over this amount will be deducted from any entitlement that you have. As a basic rule of thumb, if your weekly income exceeds £218.15, or if you are part of a couple, £332.95, then you are unlikely to qualify for pension credit unless any of the following apply. If you rent a property rather than own or buy or are buying a property, then you might be entitled to help with your rent. If you rent privately, then the local housing allowance is used to calculate any entitlement to rent. The local housing allowance is an amount that the government have decided is the maximum they will pay towards any rent that you have to pay. It's there to stop people who are only in need of a 1 or 2 bedroomed house renting a 3 or 4 bedroomed house. So therefore they will just pay towards your rent what they believe is necessary. If you are raising children, there's also a child element within pension credit. And if you are a carer, there is also a carer's element within pension credit. There is a severe disability premium also included within pension credit, but to apply for this you have to be getting a disability benefit, and you also need to be living alone, and also nobody can be claiming carer's allowance for looking after you. Pension credit also opens the door to other benefits, such as the winter fuel payment, which has been under discussion in the news recently. If you don't qualify for pension credit, but you are on a low income, you still may qualify for help with your rent and your council tax. So it's always a good idea to check this out. You can apply directly to your local council for help with your rent and your council tax. They will ask for various bits of information, and then they'll tell you if you're eligible or not. A non-means tested benefit, which is called attendance allowance, I will discuss now. That is a benefit for anybody state pension age and over who has needs because of their illnesses or disabilities. It's not specific to any particular illness or disability. Attendance allowance wants to know all the health conditions you have. It takes into account physical health and mental health issues, and looks at how you're affected by your health issues. To satisfy the conditions for attendance allowance, basically a person needs attention from another person in connection with bodily functions, or supervision from somebody else to avoid substantial danger to themselves or to somebody else, or needs somebody else to watch over them. Attendance allowance considers what your needs are during the day and what your needs are at night. So if you have issues during the night that affect you, they look at any prolonged or repeated attention in connection with bodily functions you have at night, or if somebody else needs to be awake for a prolonged period, or at frequent interviews to watch over you to avoid you hurting yourself or anybody else. You also need to have had need of support or help or care for at least 6 months before you can apply. To apply, you complete an application form, which you can get by either printing off the internet. If you Google print attendance allowance form, that should take you to where you can print one off, or you can phone 0800 731 0122 and then they will post you out a form. We do advise that you call and get a form rather than printing one off. The reason for this is they will put a date on the form that they send you, and then they will tell you when the form has to be back by. If you then complete the form and go through the process of applying, and if they agree that you do meet the criteria, they will pay you from the date that's on the form. So it's a way of getting a little bit of an extra payment. Currently, if you have just daytime needs, the payment is £72.65 a week, and if you also have nighttime needs as well, it's £108.55 a week. If you already receive disability allowance or personal independent payment, you can't apply for attendance allowance, as you are only entitled to one disability benefit. If you do wish to apply for attendance allowance, the Macmillan benefit team are quite happy to discuss with you whether you would meet the criteria, and also to help you with any application form you have to fill in. Attendance allowance wants to see obviously the application form and also medical evidence to confirm the health conditions that you said that you have. There is no assessment. They will look at what you've told them on the form, they will look at your medical evidence, and providing the difficulties that you have are what they would expect you to have because of your health conditions, then they will be satisfied. If somebody is providing care for you, there is another benefit that they might be able to apply for, and this benefit is carer's allowance. So the criteria for this is that the person that they are caring for must get a disability benefit. So to make it quite clear, as people can get confused between attendance allowance and personal independent payment and carer's allowance, the disability benefit, which for people of a state pension age is attendance allowance, they must be getting that, and the person who is looking after them might be able to get carer's allowance. So the criteria for carer's allowance is that the applicant is 16 or over, they look after somebody for at least 35 hours a week, they have lived in England, Scotland or Wales for at least 2 of the last 3 years, they normally live in England, Scotland or Wales, they are not in full-time education, they are not studying for 21 hours a week or more, they are not subject to immigration control, and they can be working, but they mustn't earn more than £151 a week net. That is after your tax is taken off, national insurance and any pension contributions that may be made. If the person that they are providing care for is receiving the severe disability premium within their pension credit, then if somebody does apply for carer's allowance, the person who's getting the severe disability premium will lose that. So if somebody who's looking after you wants to claim carer's allowance, it's best to have a discussion between you if you're already getting the severe disability premium, as you both can't be paid on a single claim. Sometimes it's better that the person who is receiving the severe disability premium continues to receive that, but that's really something to discuss between yourself and your carer.